Hi everybody, I'm David here, and welcome to episode 148 of Chilling3000 Hangouts on the Sunday, January 19th, 2025, as we are one day away from tomorrow being the Martin Luther King Jr. Day holiday, and also the 47th President going to be at the White House for Inauguration Day. So that's going to be interesting. Also, it's the college football championship game tomorrow as well. So tomorrow is a big day for a lot of things. Hello to Jeffrey. Say hello to Ema earlier as well. Hope you guys stick around because for the next 45 minutes, once I get up here in about 3 minutes, you'll be seeing an interview that I did with Chris Bass, a former, um, oh, I thought I heard a weird noise, a former radio host and a podcaster. And we're just been talking about his story on how he got into radio and other cool things as well. So you'll be seeing that for a good 45 minutes. Originally, I was going to do this episode at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, but I forgot that the Bills Ravens game that's in commercial break right now was scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So I had to reschedule it for 1 hour later instead of the usual 8 p.m. Eastern. But I think it's going to be a good show here tonight. We'll be covering some things like the. I thought I put this question mark in the title. I'll do that right now. TikTok ban. I mean, apparently that was Fortnite. For that, no, or even 24 hours. Well, it's been talking about Switch 2 and recapping the Ravens Bills game. So, we'll see what happens here on the program. And in the meantime, let's do a little commercial break. And then we'll get right into the interview with Chris Bass. And we'll see. I mean, it's right now 24-19 Bills over the Ravens. So we'll see what happens in the next 8.5, almost 9 minutes of the fourth quarter left here. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. All right, we'll see you guys in about 45 minutes after this interview with Chris Bass.
You ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? Then welcome to the Network 3000.
We've got you covered with all of the variety of content such as our weekly programs
like Chilling3000 Hangouts, the Popcorn Panel Podcast, Sports Show Standing Sin, Breaking the Chains, and more.
We also got the game shows, game plays, play-by-play reactions, blogs, and other fun stuff
that you can only get here on the Network 3000. Subscribe today.
All right, everybody. I'm here with our next guest here on this interview series here on the channel, here on the network. And today I'm here with Chris Bass. How are you doing, Chris?
I am well, David. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And I'd like to start this off with tell us a bit about yourself, Chris.
Well, I'm a talk show host. I've done terrestrial radio combined with social media going on 30 years now. And I love what I do. And I think that like anything else, when you love what you do, it's one of those things where it comes natural. You have to develop a love, a talent for it. You get better in time. And you just have to embrace it. And you know what you want. You know what you want to do. And you want to develop a show, a sound, a cadence for yourself. So out of all the voices that are out here, what makes yours different from somebody else? Well, the answer is simple. You make yourself different from somebody else. And then you just go from there. So to have been involved in spoken word and doing talk for all these years, I'm a very, very blessed individual.
Absolutely. And that's always, wish people would do more often is, you know, get the experience you need in order to find a job that you know that you can do and also that you love doing. Because if you want to work, you should get a job that is only for something that you can do that you love doing. Because it's also more healthy that way. And I think you can agree with me on that one.
Absolutely.
And speaking of, look for a job like your own career or whatever passion for a job, how did you get started with your career?
Well, like anything else, you have to find a school, university. I stay in Chicago. I live in Chicago, born and bred. There's a college called Columbia College Chicago, and I attended
Oh, okay.
there starting in 1986, back in the fall. And again, when you're at the cool thing about working there, or not working there, but being a student there, was that all the instructors were currently working in the field. So you wasn't getting in, no offense. Some person's been behind the desk at the university for over 30 years. And as they moved from there, you actually work with people or talk with people, and they were teaching you in real time about radio, and they were currently in the field. That's what attracted me to go there. And then you meet great people on the way, whether it's students, of course, fellow students and instructors, and they were just great. And so to the point where I returned as an instructor myself to my alma mater back in the fall of 2000. So that was the beginning of the whole thing. And then it went off from there. I worked at radio stations at WBEE, which was a jazz station. And then I worked there for a couple of years. And then I went from there to WLS AM and FM radio here in Chicago. It was just like a hallmark radio station. It used to be like the Rock of Chicago back in the 50s and 60s and 70s. And then
Okay.
in the late 80s, they converged to talk. And so I got there kind of like around year 2, year 3. So it was in its infancy of being a talk radio station. So it was a great experience. I've been there at WLS AM and FM for 15 years. Got fired 3 times from that place. What's amazing about when you're fired for the first time always stings because this is the first time, and you kind of green behind the gills and you got Similac behind the ears, and you're a newbie, you're a rook, and you're trying to navigate your way through an industry that is very cutthroat. It's very cutthroat and sometimes can be very, very ego-driven, which of course radio and businesses like that are. So you do all these different egos to work with and try to get along with, and sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes you just can't get along with people. And that's not a knock. It's just life. So for me, I just wanted to be on the mic. I wanted to develop. I didn't want it to be handed to me as a talk show host back at WLS. I wanted to earn it. So I went from being a board op to a producer to being a fill-in talk show host. And that was the plateau that I would never change because I had to learn to grow. I didn't want to be thrown into baptism by fire because you get burned. So if you're able to control the temperature of the fire and once again go in gradually and go from there, don't be wrong. That was always the goal, to get behind the mic, but I've always wanted to earn it. And even when I started to teach my students, don't let somebody just give it to you, because if you won't appreciate it if it's given to you. Make sure you earn every nuance, every experience, every minute of those moments, because it does serve you well in time.
Absolutely. And so, is there a reason why you think that you got fired 3 times? I mean, how did that feel? And like, is there any particular reasons why you got fired 3 times? If you'd like to explain.
So the first time was when they decided to. Okay, so first of all, let me back up. So AM and FM used to be simulcast. So they were together. Then they decided to branch off and create a separate FM talk station. So some of us were on the AM, we were brought to the FM to produce behind the scenes and go from there. And so after 1 year of a dismal failure, the company decided to break off the FM and give out severance packages to the people that they were letting go and fire. Now, traditionally, I don't know about now, we're talking about back in the day in the 90s. Traditionally, producers don't get fired because producers could adapt. A producer can adapt to whatever the situation is and go from there. So when they were getting rid of the the FM talent during that time, I was the only producer fired. And the reason why I always believe, because it was personal. I didn't get along with my boss. He hated my guts. I hated his guts right back. And just the fact that he got rid of me was a good opportunity for him to kick me out the door. Because again, as I stated, most producers are able to adapt and don't get fired in that type of process. The FM talent had to get fired because they didn't want to invest any more money. They decided to let them go, once again, severance packages. And I was let go too. So that was the first reason why I was fired. The second reason, dealing with management again, the second time, once again, I believe just from me getting fired, was the fact that they wanted to downsize the staff by that point. So there you go again. I'm out the door again. And for the third time, I was brought back in because the FM at that time was playing Christmas music and needed somebody to play the Christmas music overnight and help program that during around the holiday season. So I knew that was coming because that way they told me from day one, of course, this Christmas music, I could play it all year round. This is way before, of course, podcasting and things like that. We get that type of format. We're talking about terrestrial radio here. So I was brought in to do that because they were eventually going to change, at that time, the FM to a country station. So I was brought on as the bridge music-wise to play all this music overnight until they changed the format. So those were 3 times I got fired by the same place.
Okay. And Crystal, we have heard about that before. And tell us to the folks at home what AM and FM means for those who are brand new to radio.
Sure. So on terrestrial radio, AM and FM are the stations or the frequency you listen to. So if you have a radio, say you tune to 890 AM, the good thing about the internet, because the internet is such a clean sound, every station has an internet companion, so it doesn't sound like the way it used to. But if you had just a radio in your car to a degree, or a radio and a handheld one, you can listen to it and it will sound different. So the AM sounds muffled and kind of, cringe-worthy type of thing, but that's what radio was based upon. There used to be no FM before AM started. So the difference tech-wise, and the reason why it sounds different, is because AM is 1,000 cycles per second, and that's why it sounds the way it does. And FM is 1 million cycles per second, which is a much cleaner sound. And that's the reason why the difference between AM and FM on your radio bands.
Interesting. Okay. So tell us who were your mentors, also aka influences growing up.
Oh, thank you for bringing it up. It was 2 mentors. They're not with us anymore, but they changed the trajectory of my life. So the first one was a guy named Ty Wansley. And Ty Wansley was an African-American talk show host. Once again, find him at that time, African-American talk show host on the radio. So that alone was my attraction to listening to him. He was very calm, very cool, ran a fantastic talk program, and I was gravitated towards that. And he really became my Obi-Wan Kenobi. I got a chance to meet him in real life, quote unquote, when I was a student at Columbia College. And the man was dynamic. And he didn't have to take me under his wing, but in time that he did, we became great friends. He was my Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He really was. He was that guy that I've always leaned upon for everything I wanted to learn. And then years after knowing Ty, I met a guy named Jay Marvin. So Jay Marvin was the exact opposite of Ty. Ty was calm, cool, collective. Jay was combative but caring. So he would like to fight with people that called on the air. He would go after everybody. I remember one time I was working with him as a producer, and I had the opportunity to be a producer for both men. And going back to Jay, what I was talking about, Jay was just so electric and kinetic. So if he got into a fight with somebody, there's one lady called on the air, and he said, "You old lady, why don't you take your teeth out and put them in reverse and bite yourself backwards?" And things like that. So I never heard that outrageous type of sayings or comebacks. And he was just, I mean, he had a fantastic cult following. And to learn from these two different men and two different sides of the spectrum, I was the most fortunate one to see these eclectic talents work. And then working with them gave me the blueprint of how I want to become as a host myself. There's no more words that I can say to thank them tremendously. Even in their passings, they still mean the world to me. It always will be.
Oh yeah, that's a very cool story. Let's see what else we have here. You already explained your experiences on past radio stations. What were your learning experiences like? Did you get any advice for radio back then?
Oh yeah. Stay true to yourself. Find out who you are voice wise. Find out who you are in general. It's a journey like anything else. You have to find out what you are, how you comport yourself, how you're able to live in your own skin, scars and all. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's walking on water. So as long as you assess yourself correctly, as long as you take the crookeds with the straights and everything else, when you know yourself, to thy own self be true. Once you establish that, do it in 3D. Do it. I mean, just let your personality shine, because there's nobody else there like you. I hate to sound like Mr. Rogers, even though I was a fan of Mr. Rogers. He made a point. There's only one you. So go for it. Don't be embarrassed. You're going to make mistakes. Make sure that you learn from your mistakes and find your voice. And once you find your voice, you'll be comfortable. Like when I used to teach, and this is what I was teaching after years at Columbia College Chicago, I taught at a place called Illinois Media School, which I taught the talk radio course. And I told my students then, I had a list of names on the board like James Earl Jones, Steve Harvey, Nicole Kidman, and some others. And I said, what do all these people have in common? And they said, of course, be a celebrity. I said, well, what else do you think they have in common? And he didn't know. I said, all these people stutter. They all stutter. And just the fact that they stutter, there's no excuse for you at all. If they can go over the hurdles of what they go through, there's no excuse for the rest of us. My favorite, God love him, was always James Earl Jones. I would always been compared to him voice-wise, which to me was like the ultimate praise compliment. But this man did Broadway. And with his speech impediment, he still was successful. He had breath control. He was able to control it. You got to figure, if you're doing a recording like a movie or TV, you can edit out, of course, until they get the right scenes. But you're on Broadway.
It's all different when it's live.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're the star of the show. Like back in the day, he was a star of a Broadway play called Great White Hope that he actually made into a movie years later. But this man was dynamic. And so I was always in awe of the fact of what he can do. And plus, once again, he had a stutter. So my point to my students was, if you can look at these individuals and see what they do, that should inspire you to do your best. Because there's no excuse for the rest of us. And I used to teach it all the time. So yeah, that's the advice I give to anybody, whether you're doing a podcast, where be your own authentic self.
Oh yeah, and I do remember Steve Harvey talking about his story with stuttering all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's very good advice. Um, how do you get started with your Saturday morning stream?
I started with the morning show.
Yes.
So I was doing Fridays at one point. Fridays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh,
Central Time, and I decided to move it. And the reason why was because I was absent on a Friday and decided to make it up for it on a Saturday morning. And then it was just a different audience. It was some people that still follow me, but there was a different audience. And I'd done Saturday mornings before on other stations in the past. So I figured let's give it a shot and do that. And so far so good. I may change the time again, but for right now, Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central has become very comfortable. I like it's for me is getting the weekend started, helping to get the weekend started for others. They don't have to check me out. They could be in bed sleep calling hogs, but they take time out to be in the comment section, just like yourself. You came through to the show one time and came through the
yes, I
link, and
did.
we had a nice little conversation as to how we met internet wise, face to face. So when that happens, there's always magic for me. So I like the program. I like where it is right now, and it seems to have caught steam and caught its own foothold. And so you have to be very thankful, which definitely that's how I feel about it. So that's how I got started doing Saturday mornings.
That's very cool. And what year did you start doing those streams?
When?
Yeah, like what year?
Oh man. So let's see. I've been on social media now for over 20 years, pretty much when it started, because when I got fired from terrestrial radio, there were people having upstart internet stations during that time and so I'm like, man, well, I got to do something, because there was no more room for me on terrestrial radio at that point, and so you go from there and you experiment, and it's brand new and a whole new experience. So all you do at that time is taking your experience on being on terrestrial radio and putting it on the internet. Now they call it, social media, content creators and things like that. Nowadays, but man, it was just trying to keep busy and keep your name out there. Because back in the day, when you got fired from a radio station, that was it. There's just somewhere else to go. But because of the corporate greed that has taken over on pop radio stations, before they were iHeartMedia, they used to be called Clear Channel. And once Clear Channel was had the ability to go up and buy up all these radio stations, the playing field changed, because that was under the Bill Clinton administration, where the Telecommunications Act was changed, where businesses and corporate can go up and buy all these mom and pop radio stations, to the point where, like, for example, here in Chicago, you have, I believe, 6 to 7 stations owned by one company, and that's iHeartMedia. And so what you do, you not only do you once one time ago try to get a piece of the pie out there for advertising dollars, now you own the pie, because now with 6-7 radio stations, you own about 80% of that pie itself. So the pie becomes what you own. So that whole dynamic for a lot of us in radio just changed everything, because back in the day, if you got fired, 8 out of 10 times you go across the street to another radio station, start working there, but you can't if you're part of the same company and they got you on a blacklist that you can't work with them anymore. So why? Because they own the station now across the street. So it became really funky at one point. But I believe, me personally, social media saved a lot of us in the industry. It really did. So I've been in social media for a minute. It's been a long time, man. I never take it for granted.
And where can people find your radio show?
Well, the best way to find me at is go to facebook.com and type in Chris Bass, CHRIS, B as in broadcasting, ASE. There are like 8,000 Chris Basses in Facebook. Find me. I'm very handsome, very dapper, very debonair. Make sure you see my face and become friends. and then find out the information for my show. So that's the main thing. I am the original, no matter what everybody else is saying about them being Chris based. I am the original. So that's how the best way to get in contact with me.
Okay, and paid by Facebook to do it, or is it, what is it like?
It's the love of the game, like Michael Jordan said. It really is the love of the game at this point. So no, I don't get paid.
Oh, okay.
I love it so much. I continue on because it's been in my system since I was 6 years old. I love radio since I was 6, and that never went away. So just the fact that we have the technology nowadays, like I see with your setup, I got my setup. I'm sorry, Mike. I got with my setup and your setup and everybody else's setup. I never saw that coming, but it's a great thing to see because now we're all communicating together. Once again, like I'm being on your show right now, and that goes a long way because once upon a time ago, we didn't have this type of technology, and that's the great thing about it. When it's used properly, I think when it's used to communicate and inform people, it's a wonderful thing. So there you also you contact me if you want to. You go to YouTube. So go to my YouTube channel. Is the Chris Base channel, all one word with a period at the end of the channel. You contact me there as well. But the love of the game is where I am right now.
Okay, and I assume that you have like an outside part-time job or something. I assume.
I do some consulting work. Yeah, consulting work is what I do outside of this when the opportunity presents itself, and it's nice. It's nice to have a light schedule. It does make you appreciate where you are in life compared to where you used to be. So it's very cool.
Will you ever get back to working at a radio station? I'm not talking about your past radio stations. I meant like any other different radio stations.
Let's see, other radio station I worked at. So let's see. So I mentioned about
I meant will you ever get back into working at a radio station?
Oh, will I ever get back? Okay, good question. If the situation was right, I had no problem talking to people. As in the movie Ray with Jamie Foxx, he was talking to his agent. And I'm gonna say nothing wrong with talking. So I wouldn't have no problem talking to people if the situation presented itself and it was right on both sides. I would love to go back to terrestrial radio. It would be like going back home.
You should look into that. For either. It is the new year 2025. New opportunities in the new year. That would be my advice, or wait until next year or something. That'll just be my advice.
I appreciate that. No, it's and to be real with you, David, the thing about it is it's so political.
It is?
The business is. Oh, yeah, my God. I mean, it really is who you know. And a lot of people I know have gotten out of the business. So I don't even really think about it. But if this opportunity presented itself, I would once again talk about it. But it's just so political and so watered down these days. But it has to be the right situation.
Yeah, I was referring to a type of radio show like you're doing, or just playing music. Those type of shows. That's what I was referring to. But I don't understand where you're coming from. Time is right, and hopefully one day that'll happen. Let me see. How did you meet the people at the Snowman morning show in the morning? How did you meet those people?
I met Brian when we were doing a station years ago. It was psiradio.com. It was an up-and-coming station that had talk, sports, and other formats at the time. And at the time, I was doing sports, and I was paired with Brian. And I'm trying to get to know him, but he was just a strange fellow, which I met strange people all my life. So it didn't bother me. But what got, I wouldn't say on my nerve, well, hell, it got on my nerve a little bit, I can sit here in front, was this arcane knowledge that Brian had and continues to have. It's really uncanny. And so I remember he's telling me about Okay, so we were talking about baseball. I'm not really a baseball person, so I had to lean on him for his expertise about the whole baseball thing. And he goes into somebody that played for the Braves in 1975, had an afro, was wearing underoos, had 2 tacos and a cup of coffee for breakfast. I mean, all this stuff that nobody will even think about. I went home and told my wife, Vicky, I said, Vicky, this dude I'm working with, I mean, he's like Rain Man. I mean, literally, he's Dustin Hoffman from Rain Man, and that's the nickname I gave him. So everybody was calling him Snowman and everything else. I called him Rain Man because that's who he is. Arcane knowledge about sports, which again, right to this day, I never met anybody like that in my entire life. He is a very unique and unusual talent, and so it does serve him well. I always say he's little brother I never wanted.
That's cool, and hope he's doing well. And just my advice to him: just stay on your task of what you need to do, and try to get back on your schedule and do it consistently, because it is a struggle, sometimes to stay on schedule with regards to his. So, but hopefully, this year he'll change that. So just my advice to everybody out there who wants to do so: just stay consistently, be on top of it. Try to be on top of your game much as possible, and just like Chris said earlier, just be yourself. So, um, let's see what else do I have here. I know you said you meet 2 celebrities that were your mentors. Any other celebrities that you met?
Let's see. I've met a few celebrities, but not a lot. I remember an exchange I had with an actor. He's not with us anymore either. She was bringing about these people who passed away, but Brian Dennehy is a fantastic actor. He's stage from Chicago, also in the movie Cocoon back in the day. And you check out, if you go, to Google him, his legacy of movies were just Silverado. He was in that as well. So there's a restaurant that my wife and I went to, and I saw Mr. Dennehy with somebody else, with a person he was talking to. I didn't want to bother the man because some people with celebrities don't want to be bothered, And he's sitting there, and I asked Maitre D, I said, "What is he drinking?" And he's like, "Well, he's drinking Guinness Stout." Okay, do me a favor, send him a pint over that, and tell him that's for me. And that's what I did. So I paid for the Guinness Stout, get the pint, went over there. The Maitre D told him, and he took the glass and went like this to me. I said, and thank you. And before I left with my wife, there was a pint delivered to me from Mr. Brian Dennehy, and that was cool. that was cool with me. So yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday.
That's nice. Any like sports players that you met? Or no?
Let's see. So sports wise, I met Michael Jordan once.
Oh, wow.
Dominique Wilkins, when he was in town to play the Bulls that time, and Scottie Pippen.
Okay.
Those were the ones that come to mind. The first 3. It was very quick because again, I don't like bothering people unless they don't want, unless they want to sit down and talk with you, because they're obviously busy and they get tired of people, guffawing all over them. But I was always a fan of Jordan's, always a fan of Scottie's, and of course Dominique Wilkins. I loved all of them, so I just let them know who I was, and gave them the dap and the bro hug and everything else, and kept it moving. I did have another drink exchange with Scottie Pippen at one point, so that was pretty cool too. So again, these little encounters that happen, it's always nice because again, it could have went further, but again, I respect the people's time and their space. So yeah, those encounters are pretty well. Now I got a chance to interview one of my favorite Chicago Bears, Otis Wilson. I interviewed from the Super Bowl era, and from the '85 team. So I interviewed him twice. A good friend of mine, Didi Asabor, who knew him personally, was able to arrange that. And he's my favorite Bear of all time. I always love Otis Wilson, and I got a chance to interview him. And what was interesting was his take on Mike Ditka. Now, as a fan, something was not right about Ditka. I couldn't put my finger on it. I just didn't like him for some reason. So Otis tells me the story. This was the year after the Super Bowl, and Otis got injured. So he was on IR for a week and was going to return the following week. So he suited up to go in for the next game, the next following Sunday, and Ditka tells him, no, that's all right. You can sit down. We're going to go with your replacement instead. He was like, no, you're not. No, I'm going in. It's in my contract. Because if you don't let me in, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue the Bears. I'm going to sue the NFL. And so then he changed his mind. But just the fact you would insult one of your star players and say you don't want to go back in the game, that's
With
insane.
no evidence. Evidence, I assume. Like, no evidence. You can't sue someone with no evidence.
Yeah.
But
yeah, to hear those stories from these athletes is they were very kind to share their time, and I never forget that. That was pretty cool.
Awesome. What are your favorite sport teams?
Has to be the Bulls right off the bat. You have to understand, before Michael Jordan got here, the Bulls sucked wind. I mean, they were horrible team. Like, I never forget when I was playing basketball for my church, we went to the Chicago Stadium way before maybe United Center, Chicago Stadium, where they played, and of course the Hawks played there. So we went there. David, they played the Seattle Supersonics during that time. And we get there, and we're in the mezzanine section, right? I swear to God, by halftime, we were sitting down right behind the Bulls bench. That's how empty it was in the stadium. You can move around, sit anywhere you want to during that time. So I understand from day one, day one, where we were as a team. When they drafted Michael Jordan, I was telling people, dude, this dude's, he's unreal. Once again, watching him play in college for North Carolina, and we were able to get him, I was telling people, dude, I didn't project that he would become, of course, Michael Jordan. I just knew he was good for the team. And we saw what happened in the 3 rings, and then he took that time off to play baseball, came back, 3 more rings. It was a beautiful time here. Not saying it's not now. I can't even tell you who's on the team now, no offense.
Yeah.
But back then, yeah, they were a powerhouse. And then you watch the docuseries on ESPN that aired The Last Dance. And all the things I heard in the media from other people about what was going on with the Bulls organization, it was true. You know, a lot of people have a lot of innuendo and stuff like that, and dare I say lies. But all these things I heard about over the years were really documented in this docuseries. I was really impressed.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, but that will always be my favorite time. That, of course, in the Bears win the Super Bowl, those times for me were just fantastic.
And as a baseball, are you a fan of the Cubs or the White Sox, or both?
I don't follow baseball that much, but in my heart, I've always liked the White Sox better. No offense to the Cubs. No, Cubs is the team and everything else. And I have been to Wrigley Field once. It really is a spectacular place to go. Yeah. This is before they put lights in when I went. Okay. It was, in fact, it was the Cubs versus the Braves. And this is the Sammy Sosa era. And so I remember going with my cousin Alan, and we went to Wrigley Field, and there were some guys behind us drinking old style beer, and they were getting drunk, or as they say, getting lit. And so, for example, they got so drunk that they just named one player for every team. For example, it's like, okay, so it was when the home team got up, which was, of course, the Cubs. All right, number 21, Sammy Sosa. Yay, Sammy! And everybody's shouting and everything else. And then by that point, the Braves Braves are coming up to the bat. And number 23 from the Atlanta Braves, David Justice. Way to go, go, Sammy! Everybody was Sammy.
Oh, jeez.
By that point, so we got a kick out of it because again, it didn't matter who it was, and he had Sammy Sosa pretty much at that point. I mean, they were drunk. I think they came in drunk by that point and just started to just knock them back. But yeah, those experiences are always great. The thing about my dad, God rest his soul, used to sell beer at the original Comiskey Park when he was like a early 20s. So when he married my mom and had a family, they were going to come back in for free. So I'll come in for free and watch the games, and that was a beautiful time.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
And also, speaking of North Carolina, that's Michael Jordan's college team, and now for football, it's going to be Bill Belichick's team. There's been reports that he's going to leave to go up to the NFL again. It's been declined. I think that it was false about him joining the Raiders, Brady's Las Vegas team. Do you think, honestly, he's going to leave North Carolina right away to go to the NFL, or he's actually going to stay? Because I think he's going to stay.
It's about Belichick in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Really that to North Carolina. I think that's the way he should be there. I don't think he should have all this fanfare to be in North Carolina and then leave. That's really a gank move. That's not cool.
Yeah.
I think he's going to stay. He's there for 5 years. I believe his son will succeed him in the 5 years and take over the program, which they wrote about. Also, he has a 24-year-old girlfriend. You got to keep her happy. And they also, what I thought was unique, David, at UNC, they have they installed a general manager position in college.
Yeah.
I've never seen it before in my life. Like, usually, of course, you have boosters and athletic directors and things like that, ADs and stuff like that. But I've never in my life seen a college have a position of general manager. So the way I look at it, because the NIL deal and things like that, this is a business. So you might as well handle it like a business, and you bring in someone to be the general manager of a college team.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your other interest other than just sports?
Say that again?
What is your other interest other than just sports?
Oh, my other interest. Like watching movies. If I can find the right movie, I'll sit back and chill and check it out. Always been a fan of the old school monsters from Universal, the Frankenstein monster and Dracula and Wolfman and stuff like that. And I see all these remakes. As a matter of fact, there's a remake of the Wolfman coming out. I'm always kind of leery of remakes and reboots because, again, it's like, Hollywood, you don't have any original ideas these days. You got to come out with all these reboots and remakes. So I got to force myself to get back into reading, actual reading a book, not reading stuff on my phone. I have some books that I ordered, but I haven't read them yet. So to get back in the habit of reading, I want to get back in the habit of doing that, like just having a physical book to read and things of that nature. So those have really been my outside interests at this point. And food. I get a good meal or a good Italian beef sandwich or something. I'm good to go, Doc. I'm very happy.
What about you like watching game shows?
Not too many game shows I watch. I am interested in CBS as they rebooted the Hollywood Squares.
Yeah.
I saw the promos for that. Yeah, so they had the premiere last week. I think I'll check that out.
Okay. And any other TV shows you like as well, or that's basically it?
That's basically it. I did get a chance to check out some TV shows recently. Tim Allen's new show on ABC. I watched that. I've always been a fan of Tim Allen's from day one, and it's amazing he's still working. Yeah, he's 70 years old now. I remember when back in the day, real quick to give a history lesson. So back in the day when the Tonight Show was hosted by Johnny Carson, who had the show for 30 years. When you were a comedian and you did a set on Carson, and then when Carson had motioned you over to the desk to sit down and talk to you, your career was about to take off. And anybody during that era made Carson, and then Carson, you made him laugh, and he brings you over like Tim Allen. So by the time Tim Allen was sitting down at that desk, he had to receive all these different calls, different people giving him a show, and that's when he got the show, of course, on ABC's network for Tool Time, and not Tool Time. That's the show within the show. Home Improvement was the name of the show that he did. And a lot of comedians, Roseanne and Jeff Foxworthy, they all had these shows based upon their appearances on Carson. So just the fact that you have someone like Tim Allen, of course, the original voice of Buzz Lightyear in the Toy Story animated movies and things like that, and all the stuff he's done, the Santa Claus movies. Again, a fantastic talent. And the fact he's still working at 70 amazes me. So, yeah, you got to give credit when credit's due.
What are your goals for 2025?
The goal for 2025 is to make it to another age, to get to 58, to interact with my family, my grandchildren more often, to hopefully continue to grow my show Baseline that I do every Saturday. Continue to be a better version of myself. To look back and say I was not that person anymore. I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to be different and be better versions of myself, because I think that's the only way we can get through life is to look back and say, no, I'm not that person anymore. I'm somebody else. Change is the inevitable, whether you like it or not.
Absolutely. Well, that'll be it for this interview here. I did have one question down, but I would like to save that question for another time. I would like to have you back as a panelist on my show. Are you available Friday nights and Sunday nights, or one of those at least?
It'll be more than my honor.
All right, cool. So I'll give you guys a little tease. My question was memories of old technology, because you're a retro guy, I assume. So we could definitely talk about that on a future show sometime later this month. So anything else you want to promote before we end this?
Well, pretty much like I said, first of all, David, I thank you for the time. The best way to contact me again is on Facebook, CHRIS, B as in broadcasting, ASE, and also go to my YouTube channel, the Chris Base channel, all one word with the period at the end of the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share, and hey, continue to make it do what it do.
All right, cool. All right, that'll be it for this interview.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? Then welcome to the Network 3000.
We've got you covered with all of the variety of content such as our weekly programs like
Chilling3000 Hangouts, the Popcorn Panel Podcast, Sports Show Standing Sin, Breaking the Chains, and more.
We also got the game shows, game plays, play-by-play reactions, blogs, and other fun stuff
that you can only get here on the Network 3000. Subscribe today.
All right, there we go. And we have our guest, Jayhan. How are you doing, Jayhan?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. It's been a long time since you've been on this show. Let me just do some other quick things here. All right. Let me just let people know that interview is over. And I hope everybody's having a good long weekend with the holiday off tomorrow. And we just got done. I just got done watching the Bills game. Buffalo Bills and Baltimore, which the Bills have won over the Baltimore Ravens 27-25. Were you watching that game, Jehan?
No, I wasn't watching that game. I had my eyes on another game with the Packers.
Oh, earlier in the okay.
Even though I'm a Jets fan, I'm still at least watching the Packers right now.
Well, right now they're not playing. Right now they're done for the. They were playing back on January 12th. That was.
Oh wait. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So wait.
Yeah.
I've been kind of off of it. So which teams are there are there right now?
There's right now the let me see. It's gonna be the Bills and Chiefs upon. Oh, there, Emily. There's gonna be the Bills and Chiefs this upcoming Sunday, in with the Commanders and the Eagles. Hello, I can hear you.
Okay.
So those are the 4 final teams: the Commanders, Eagles.
So right now, I think I'm gonna put my money possibly on the Commanders. They've been consistent, at least so far. Even though I'm a Jets fan, I'm still gonna go with the Commanders for now.
Commanders, okay. Yeah, what do you think? Emily, their rookie quarterback will be possible to go to the Super Bowl?
He's got a chance.
More than likely, it's definitely a good chance.
Yeah, I mean, he can show up in the big games like last week against Detroit. I mean, he pulled off that. He played ball. That's all I can say. Why is my hair all the way over there?
Yeah, he definitely can, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he can do that against a veteran quarterback in Jalen Hurts. Next week. And also, the Commanders will be on the road, so it's going to be. Who we guys have here? Hey, Victor.
Woo! The other thing I want to say about that game is that it's a division game. Anything goes.
Yep. So the Bills and Chiefs are at it again.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God.
They've always been at it.
Are you kidding me?
So what's your thoughts, Victor?
We won barely by one fuck up from Lamar. Needless to say, I'm very happy, but I was scared there for a second. I was very scared.
Well,
the defense looked great. Like this go around, the defense looked great. They absolutely did. The 3 turnovers, 3 of them.
Yeah, and Mark Andrews, he is going to be destroyed by the Baltimore Mania.
Oh, no doubt about that.
He can't do that in the playoffs.
Oh my God. I still can't believe it.
Emily, do you think that is the worst fumble missed catch in playoffs history, or no?
No,
that was much worse.
No. Welker's drop. I don't want to talk about it, but that was bad. But on the defensive side, Asante Samuel. Yeah. Goodbye, perfect season.
Goodbye, pro season.
After he couldn't haul in the interception in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But well, speaking of the word perfect, the Bills are finished, playing at home.
Yes, they are. That was their last home game.
Yep.
Undefeated. All at home. I just want to ask you, is this the first? No, this is not the first time they'll be playing the championship game at Kansas City, correct? Or was
no, they played 2 years ago down there.
2020 season.
2, right?
There.
Or
2020. 2020, that was the
2020.
COVID year. They played in Kansas City, the championship.
Let me have a look.
And then the year after was a divisional round there. That was the 13 seconds game. My camera's doing stupid things. I might have to rewire it.
I thought for sure that was 2020 when they played at Kansas City.
They did, but that was a divisional game.
Divisional, okay, yeah.
The game was in 2022, but it was for the 2021 season. So I lumped it in.
Oh yeah, the last time they did play was in 2020. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that was in the divisional.
And then they had a game, I want to say in the 90s.
God, I thought it was actually shorter than that. 2020, like 4 full years ago. Jeez.
Yeah. So, like, would you rather have the Bills Victor play this game on the road or at home when there's more?
Home field advantage is always important. So I would have said if we had it our way, home field.
So you want the more pressure from the fans, you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, plus you get more support from the fans. Mainly if we played at home, a lot of people like our Bills Mafia, they're vicious, and a lot of Chiefs fans would be intimidated by that almost.
No, those Buffalo Bills fans, I don't even know, because my team's had so much success over the past 20 years. It's like, how do you root for a team that has given you letdown over letdown with all of that? And we're live. I didn't even realize.
Try asking the Jets fans. They still do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
1969, 68 season, 69. The last time they won the Super Bowl. The only time they've won. They got pretty close. Those Mark Sanchez teams got pretty close.
They came pretty close this time. There's always next year for them. I'm still rooting for them. I'm a Jets fan, so.
Yeah.
Let's see how. Well, they're a cursed franchise, and that all explained it back on 9/11.
Yeah, they're more cursed than the Giants. They're more cursed than the Giants.
Yeah,
at least the Giants won like almost.
The Giants fluked their way into a couple of Super Bowls, if I want to say. 9-7.
Yeah,
everyone writes you off at 9-7, and then they won the Super Bowl. And then 10-6, they snuck in as a wild card. They won a wild card game at home, or they were on the road because they were the wild card. They had to win 3 games on the road. I don't remember who they had to play in 07. They had to play. I think they had to play Tampa. No. Did they have to?
I'm not sure, but I'm glad I wasn't watching football, in 2007.
07. Did they have to play?
Were you watching that Super Bowl picture? Were you watching that the Giants Super Bowl? Remember watching that?
Their last Super Bowl. I was too young to remember that.
Oh,
I was young.
I was in 3rd grade. I remember it. It was not good, not fun. If Welker caught the pass, or if Gronk caught the Hail Mary.
Well,
I still remember the doink of the century that happened.
Who knows? He was in real good position to catch it too.
Also, I gotta say this.
07,
I gotta say this about this whole crap about the debate between the Patriots and the Chiefs. At least with the Patriots, there wasn't refs going crazy over the team. It was just the
not always. Sometimes yes, but not a lot.
It was the fake. It was the fake gate that started on. That was like
the fake gate.
2014.
That's what started. People thought they were cheating.
Spygate 07.
Oh, that was
that
was the thing.
That was one of them. Spygate. They got caught. They got fined some money, and they lost a draft pick. Deflategate was worse, although I want to say a lot of it was BS.
Yeah. There wasn't any proof.
I have a video bookmarked.
There wasn't any proof, so. But it's just that. Victor, did you saw that clip with Chopped Out and Troy Aikman? But just saying, "Oh God, come on."
Yes, I saw it right when it aired too. Joe Buck was like, "Oh, come on!" I was dying. I'm like, "Wow, they finally they got their crap together. They finally were gonna call out the Chiefs." And Aikman was pissed too.
Yeah, coming from the Cowboys.
God, at least Tony Romo didn't do that game, because if he did,
yeah. But thank God, Victor, this Super Bowl coming up is going to be on Fox.
FOX. Brady has improved in the commentary. Last night, he did a really good job. He did. I will admit, because I was one of his, like, I wouldn't say I've been like hating on him, but I've been very critical of how he did color commentary. But last night, he did that was his best game that he covered thus far.
Yeah.
Like, something about it felt a little bit different. It felt much more improved. So we'll see going into the second year how that goes.
No, the other thing is, I don't like how Brady has an ownership stake in the Raiders.
I don't like that either.
No, because then he can't do the pregame interview or the interviews with the rest of the broadcast team.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Which is part of your job as a broadcaster. How is Fox allowing him to do this? They should.
So you're saying they should replace him with Greg Olsen again?
Yes. The other thing is, I want to say, Greg Olsen got robbed from a spot in the A team. There were people calling for Romo's demotion.
Yeah. Yeah, after the Super Bowl, he fucked up. He didn't really do that good. But, like, this year, he got
Romo's first couple of years, they were on point. But he's kind of fallen
he's not
off.
as bad as Collinsworth. I cannot listen to Collinsworth. I can't.
Here's a guy.
I can't listen to him, and he's wasted. Mike Tirico, I love, but I cannot listen to Collinsworth.
Oh my gosh. Should I introduce you to a time when Chris Collinsworth was in the same booth as Joe Buck and Troy Aikman?
Oh, God.
In the middle of the 2000s. That was a time.
Oh,
I don't remember it, but I've...
Fine.
Yeah.
I just... It's crazy. But, also about the Smith commentary, Tom Brady is getting good at the right time for the Super Bowl, so he's getting there.
Yeah, let's see how the actual bowl.
All right, let's do a little.
The other thing is, I would love to see if Tom Brady did the trophy presentation after the end of the game.
They're probably
the
gonna
guy who's hosted. No, he's hasn't. I was gonna say, Belichick's won 8.
Victor, you have a lot of nerve showing your face after what you said about the Superman trailer, you fucking cunt.
Oh, we're really gonna talk about that again?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about to the end of time, motherfucker.
Oh my God. I'm happy. Leave me alone. My Bills won. and your Texans lost. Don't you support the Texans?
No, I don't support the Texans or the Cowboys because they suck. Hell, even the Spurs got their ass whooped by the Grizzlies. They got their ass whooped by almost 30 points. They got their ass whooped by the same team 2 nights in a row with home field advantage. That's all you know. They fucking suck.
Oh my God,
But yeah, I just wanted to come here and say that. But yeah, you all talk about your football stuff and all that good stuff.
And I was the NBA. Look at this crud.
Oh
No,
my
they lost to the Heat
God.
too. They're supposed to be facing the Heat here at the end of the month. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, y'all take care, guys.
See, I don't like the Miami Heat. Just that's LeBron James.
Neither
team.
do I. Hate them with a passion. NBA is like, if I'm going to be honest, I've really started losing interest in it. I mean, the Celtics won, but it's like, now I really think about it, the stupid play-in games, it's like, just...
Oh my God, that's
No.
why I don't. That's why I wanted to get into the NBA, but the first this whole play-in shit, just get rid of it. Nobody cares.
You know what the NBA could use? They could take out 2 teams from the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or
what?
No, that wouldn't work because you're gonna have teams on buys and they might.
Yeah.
A whole buy versus no buy argument, but I just say go with the whole 8, like it was before COVID. That's how you should have done it.
Yeah. The only good thing about NBA has done is Rivals Week, and which they should replace that with the they should replace the All-Star game with something too. That is garbage.
Well, to be fair, I think they can't replace the All-Star game now. They're on NBC. They're back on network television. So,
all right, let's do a little quick game. Of David says here.
Right.
I'm gonna go one by one.
I'm gonna head out.
All right, that's fine.
Bye.
Victor.
Yes.
David says, "Sorry is a dork."
What am I supposed to answer with?
That's how David says first. You're supposed to repeat after I said the sentence. So David says Sorry is a dork.
Well, David says the Patriots suck.
That's not what
and
I
no,
said.
I'm not. Oh my God, saying, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" Now I gotta change my fucking. God, dang it! Give me one moment. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's how your Patriots gone, and then you fired your head coach.
Man, yeah.
I'm gonna head out now. See y'all.
Well, actually, okay, that's fine. All right. Well, here's my next. What David says here. David says, Victor cannot stop watching Lost.
Well, that's actually a good thing.
And it's unhealthy.
Unhealthy? I don't watch it every day. I watch it every once in a while. Besides, I got a show to prep every week. You kidding me?
All right, let's do one more. David says. David says, far right.
David says, go fuck yourself.
All right. I have a rant to talk about this TikTok bullcrap.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
It's funny because now it's completely fucking dated because now they came back.
So
they came back.
So TikTok is now back. But apparently there's been rumors going around that says you cannot use TikTok if you delete it or have to get a new phone. Am I correct?
Well, I would think that they'll put it back up on the App Store maybe today or maybe either later tonight, tomorrow, or at the latest by Tuesday. I think that's what's going to happen. They're trying to get it all in. They're going to give them the government's this whole banning shit. It's all manipulation by the media anyway. It's all manipulation because it's all to propagate a certain orange head. Great. I gotta stop being political, but this is all propaganda. It's all propaganda to use TikTok to brainwash the public and make people go angry. It's nothing. Like, come on. You should have let it stay dead so that way there would be a better outlet, a better platform that might come. Because I know, like, I think Blue Sky is working on TikTok a alternative. I think they are. I think.
Blue Sky. What? That's the new Twitter.
Like, yeah, it's all now. It's pretty much become the new X. It's controlled by the government, just like how Elon controls X. TikTok's controlled by the government. It's dead, folks. If you don't support the government, get the fuck off and stay off. Go to Blue Sky.
Go to Blue Sky.
Or go to Discord. I don't know.
Yeah. Or
go on Letterboxd, letterboxd.com/the account Victor. I believe that's my Letterboxd URL.
Or even better, go outside and touch grass.
That's a good point.
Or maybe start saving for I guess I don't know what it's gonna be like, but the Nintendo Switch 2. That is gonna
be Nintendo Switch 2. I know a lot of people are very excited, but here's what I don't get. Nintendo is all about, at least for the past number of years, they've been about innovation. The next console was more advanced than the next. Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 is exactly the same. There is nothing different really about it.
They didn't say anything new going to be nothing new.
They didn't say anything about it. Oh, yeah, there's better performance, but tell me, what's so different about it? It's practically the same console.
Yeah, like we're not gonna buy a Nintendo Switch 2 if there's no new.
It's like it's about at least people were complaining back in the day about Super Nintendo about how it wasn't that different. No, Super Nintendo was actually quite different. Yeah. Was very compared to this. The Super Nintendo was way different. Compare that to Nintendo Switch 2. You're practically reusing the same console, except maybe it's a little thicker. That's about it.
Yeah, it's just I don't.
And
know,
it's black.
Like, yeah, and not white or like these. I mean, it's just like.
Yeah, everybody's excited about a new Mario Kart finally, but come on, you could have just put down the original Nintendo Switch and be done.
What is the name? It's Mario Kart. What is the name of the Mario Kart?
I think it's. I don't think it even has a title yet.
Let me see.
I think it's going by Mario Kart 9 for the time being.
That's what I wished for. We haven't had a new Mario Kart like since
2016, I believe.
What that was
it 2013? No, 2013. Came out on Wii U, I think, in 2013. Jesus, over a decade.
Yeah.
And I'm not counting the fucking mobile game. I'm not counting that.
Yeah. Like that is Mario Kart 8. That's that latest original Mario Kart game that came out. And the Deluxe, that doesn't count because that was for the Switch, and they were already not wanting to be original of making a new Mario Kart game. Just want to remake it because it's only been a few years.
Yeah.
Just like with movies, how they want to make live actions.
Yes, but I think that's a little bit different because with certain live action remakes, whether it's Disney or any other studio, I feel like sometimes they can make things different about it and change things. But when Nintendo Switch 2, it looks exactly the same. Like, look at the pictures. It looks exactly the same. There is no difference about the console itself. What's going to be the difference here?
Yeah, and
plus, let's not forget, it was just Christmas this past year. Imagine the kids who got the Nintendo Switch this past Christmas, and they saw that the fucking Nintendo Switch 2 was announced 3 weeks later. I'm like, Mommy, can you get me the Nintendo Switch 2 next Christmas? Even though they already fucking bought you a Nintendo Switch? It's a cash grab, nothing but.
Look here, see the differences on the NES and SNES? Look at the Mario Bros game too. That's different, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then this is like almost identical. Only like a little bit of performance. Like I saw an image between Mario Kart 8 versus what this new Mario Kart is going to look like. It looks almost exactly the same except for a few alterations. Just almost exactly the same.
Yeah, look. I mean,
it's almost it looks bigger, but it looks exactly the freaking same. It looks more now like a Steam Deck, if anything. I don't think it's going to be as powerful as a Steam Deck.
Nafritu says Nintendo Switch 2 is absolutely a cash grab, just for Nintendo to make more money.
I know. This is why I don't hold it. I hold Nintendo. A lot of people do not hold Nintendo accountable for anything. Like, they think that they're the greatest video game company in the world. I'm just like, you're just about as flawed as PlayStation and Xbox. Every single fucking system is flawed in some ways, but Nintendo are so desperate. Like, look at all the fucking things that you have to buy. You have to buy Nintendo Switch Online. You gotta buy these games that come with it. I'm just like, and plus the console that raises up so much money. I'm like,
yeah, you don't want to do that again with the Switch 2.
I mean, at least PlayStation Plus gives us like recent games on the platform, and Xbox Game Pass is even better. Sometimes you get games directly at launch for free, like the new Call of Duty on Xbox Game Pass right now.
Everything says, honestly, why can't Nintendo just wait until at least 2030 to make a new console?
I would say 2025. I mean, the Switch has been around since 2017. They didn't even give it a full 10 years. Maybe they should have come out with it at 2028. Like, even like PlayStation 4, like, they gave it, I believe, almost a full decade before the PlayStation 5 came out.
Yes.
Like, come on.
Just give every console like 10 years to, practice everything, make it.
Or at least like 7 to 8 years, which, considering it came out in 2017, you could say 7 years, but at least give it 8-9 years. Like, come on, the Switch is very successful. It's your most successful console you've ever put out.
Other than the Nintendo Wii.
Other than the Wii, it's their most popular console that they've ever sold.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, Nintendo should have known better with this decision. And if they were going to make a Switch 2, at least make it something fucking different. This is exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, and nothing.
God, even the 3DS, which looked exactly the same as the regular DS, had differences.
Yeah, because it was more HD with the 3DS.
And it was 3D.
3D and also more colorful. I even still have my 3DS too that I play a little bit from time to time as well.
I mean, I get it. The Switch is what I liked about it is that it's a portable console and a home console. But with this, I just feel like, I don't know, this feels like a cash grab, and it's gonna be like, I don't know how much it's gonna cost in the end. I bet you it's gonna for my money, $600. $600 at launch.
I'd rather use that money to
And yes, I know the PlayStation 5 is slightly more expensive, but like, at least you're getting more bang for your buck. You could do more on it.
Yeah, and I'd rather use my $600 to save money for getting more retro console games from eBay or something for a collection.
And plus, from what I've heard anyway, like, a lot of the new games that Nintendo's put out haven't been that good. Like, I heard there was like this Mario and Luigi. There was an RPG. This Mario and Luigi RPG game, and it was apparently like one of the worst fucking games Nintendo's ever published.
Oof.
I forget the name of it right now, but it's just they're desperate. They're desperate for attention. People are gonna give them the attention because there's a bunch of Nintendo fanboys out there. I'm just like, you guys. I am a Sony pony, and we can be obnoxious, but like, Nintendo fans are so obnoxious. I'm not saying everybody who likes Nintendo is obnoxious. I'm not saying that, but like, a lot of people who just shill everything they put out. Like, come on, hold people accountable.
Yeah, like, and also Nintendo earn,
they earned these people's trust, and now they're pretty much saying, "Oh, we don't even have to try."
Just like with the Red Sox nowadays, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I mean, I really hope whenever the next Nintendo Direct is, which I don't know how often they do it anymore. I hope in the next Direct they'll announce new stuff for the Switch 2 that we can actually see they're trying with the new console because
God, I mean, I'm gonna say this right now. I think the Patriots are trying more than Nintendo. They're trying more than Nintendo. No, I take that back. I'm gonna say this, and I don't care. I think personally, the Panthers try more than Nintendo. With Will Lettuce or
What
whatever.
the hell are you doing eating fried chicken? You're 81.
why did you have to bring up the Panthers?
Oh my god. But yeah, I think it's a total cash grab. I agree. It's a total cash grab.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just
ridiculous.
I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I don't know. We'll see.
Oh my god! Like, so next week it's the Taylor Swift Haley Steinfeld pool, according to one comment on Blue Sky. Yeah, we're gonna go all Haley all the way. No fucking no fucking shit. I would pick Haley.
I'm gonna say is this. It's gonna be deja vu again. I think. To be honest with you, I mean, it's happened. 2020. 2020. 2022. 2023. I don't know.
I have a feeling. Yeah, I know we're not gonna have home field advantage, but in my view, I think it's do or die. We have to get it done this year. We have to get it done this time. We got to get it done. We're the only team in the regular season to beat the Chiefs. We could do it. If we did it once, we could do it again.
Yeah, I just haven't got a feeling, unfortunately, that it's going to be deja vu again because, I mean, what's what happened the past 3 times?
Yeah, because the refs interfered. Fuck the refs.
I just hope that at least the Bills will be a lot more competitive this time around.
Yes, they have to be. They look good out there yesterday. No, not today. Not yesterday. Today, they look great out there, especially the defense. If the defense could go the defense can play with that level of energy against the the Chiefs offense, we're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But they gotta perform it just like they did today.
Yeah. If they play like they
did gonna be key. It's gonna be key.
If they do the exact same thing today as next week, then you'll go to the Super Bowl. But it's happened 3 times. 3 times the charm didn't work.
Here's the thing, though. They want to go 3 times the charm in the fucking Super Bowl. We got to prevent that from happening, don't we?
I mean, I don't know. Well, and also, honestly, who was that Bills player that got traded at the beginning of the season? Who was he?
Fuck.
It was one of
shit. I forget his name. Fuck.
I think he went to Bills player got traded it was that one player that made people thought they weren't going to be that good this year because of him.
It's Stephon Diggs, isn't it?
Diggs, yes.
Now it came back to me.
Diggs, when he left to the what team did he go to? The Texans.
Congratulations.
When he went to the Texans, everybody thought that the Bills were going to be that good.
Myself included, actually.
So they have been overachieved, but now in their going back to the same position again, I'm gonna say is to the Bills fans, just pray for a miracle because
I think they already have to pray no matter what for this miracle because we gotta pull this off. Like the first time we faced against the Chiefs, we had to pray for a miracle, and guess what? It happened. We gotta do it again. We gotta hope for a miracle, and if we could do it with the defense, especially, like imagine, like I would be in total fucking ecstasy. Well, if we go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean.
And as for the NFC Championship, I'm going to be honest. I think the Commanders might go to the Super Bowl.
You're taking the underdog in this one.
I'd rather take an underdog. I don't know. I have something. I like underdog stories.
Yeah. Oh god, that Lions game last night.
Oh my god, that was fucking brutal. Oh my god,
that was a choke job by the Lions.
Jesus Christ! Like, what were they thinking?
45 to 31.
And people, you know, like the Baltimore's beginning to get in a couple of minutes. Like they got roasted on the internet. The Lions did.
Yeah, and like the game before, they won over the Vikings 31-9. That was like
you beat the freaking Vikings, yet lost to the Commanders. It should have been an easy game for you, but no.
They had to.
I don't know what happened.
They scored the same amount of runs in the Vikings game that they lost to the Commanders.
I mean, Jalen Daniels showed that he is like one of the best rookie quarterbacks, potentially of all time.
I don't think there's been a rookie quarterback that's been to the Super Bowl. Well, I don't think
that would be something if he does.
Yeah. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the. I mean, these are not. No, don't count anymore. But let's just see what has happened this past season. So the Bills 13-4-0. The AFC East. The Chiefs have 2 more wins, so that is how they got the number 1 seed.
Yes, that's how they got the number 1 seed by the refs.
I'm sure they got the number 1 seed before.
Last year, I think they did.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter who's got the number 1 seed or not. The Ravens, I mean, 12-5. I know. I mean, that's just great. Why do they still have that tie thing? It doesn't exist anymore. It's extinct. But anyway, the Steelers got choked up. Let me see. The Texans, they're out. By the way, folks, the teams that I don't like in the NFC is the Dolphins, Chiefs, and I think that's pretty much it.
The Browns, fuck Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. As for National League, the Eagles, they're a surprising story.
Yeah. Especially considering every Eagles fan overreacted, saying, "Well, Nick Sirianni's killing the team. He's killing the team. Look, you went 14-3."
Yeah, the Cowboys won the division last year,
and they did a choke job this year. They did a big choke job.
Yeah,
Mike McCarthy's fucking gone, and I'm telling you right now, the Cowboys will not improve unless fucking what's his face retires and gets rid of the fucking ownership. What the fuck's his name?
Jerry Jones.
He needs to go. He needs to go.
The Rams, I feel bad for them because of what's going on in LA.
Yeah.
I think honestly, if that didn't happen, they would have done better because there were so many distractions with traveling and all that.
Yeah, and the chaos that was happening in Los Angeles to begin with.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Tampa got knocked out. They were
Yeah,
expected to be a threat.
wow, almost every single fucking team in the NFC choked
Yeah.
so far. My God.
The teams I don't like is the Cowboys. I just don't like their fans that they're
I
saying,
don't like
"Oh,
their
this
fans. I don't like their
America's team,
attitude either.
America's team, bull crap. We haven't won
Yeah,
anything
America's
in that
team.
time."
Yeah, America's team.
I just hate them
Stop
saying
speaking for the rest of the 49 states. Stop speaking for us New Yorkers.
if they actually, kept on winning in the 2000s from 2010s, I would have had respect for that, franchise of actually having that, name to themselves, America's team. But they haven't won anything in my lifetime. I just keep being tired of
They're
people
jokes.
telling me, but they're America's team. No. There's no such thing as
More
America's
like
team.
cancerous fan base. That's what they should be known by. The fan base is obnoxious.
I don't like the Giants because it's New York and they screwed my perfect season. So, I don't really like the Seahawks because they're what is the word? They're crocky or whatever it is. There's just 90 people. No, it's a 90 team. And that was I think they beat the Patriots.
Naughty team, so they're assholes, frankly.
Yeah.
I've always, ever since the days of Russell, was Wilson on that? I think he was. Marshawn Lynch, all those guys. Oh my God, they were I didn't like them because they came up. That's why I didn't like the team, because they came like fucking assholes. It came out like reality TV garbage.
I did not. This is my first time seeing this. The 49ers in last place. I thought they were in like fourth place. I mean,
McCaffrey getting injured. That affected them.
Big time. Thank you, Madden. They saw that Super Bowl choke job that the 49ers did at the very end, forgetting about the rules, and they said, "Oh, let's put them on the cover."
You know what? Honestly, at this point, it should just be like the cover should just be Madden number and just that's it. Don't put any fucking players on that damn cover ever again, so nobody will get cursed. Everybody have a fair shot.
Just put Madden whatever year, and that's it.
Like people are gonna buy the game anyway. It doesn't matter about
Or just put a throwback player.
Yeah.
Also,
fix Madden the game. Like I heard Madden's been shit for years. Like, come on. You put more attention to the cover than the actual game.
Also, the Packers, they lose every goddamn postseason. I can't count how many times.
The Packers?
Since 2011.
They've been choking a lot. This year especially. Like, oh my goodness.
They've been losing every postseason. And it's like, every time they go to the playoffs, they lose in like the first round. They don't go champions. I mean, it's like.
To be fair, this Packers team is still young. I think they still got a shot, but since they're so young, but like.
Yeah,
they didn't look that good.
Yeah. Tampa, like I said, I thought they were gonna push for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't like Atlanta because I don't want them to win anything again since the 28-3 thing. I don't want them to win anything again because they deserve that after the 28-3, which I'm very happy about, of course, but I don't want them to win anything again because I want that to be a cursed thing of their franchise forever.
Well, at least they're not going to be as cursed as the Jets. The Jets are just on a whole other level.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you know that Matt Ryan played for Boston College?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is weird, but it was Boston versus Boston again. Well, not technically, but I don't know. Do you know how many years is left on Roger Goodell's contract for NFL? Or
well, I thought they extended his contract. Let's have a look. Salary. Yeah, last year they received a 3-year extension.
Okay, so
this year, next year, the year after that. So 2027, if he decides to fucking leave, which it might not happen, to be honest. Goodell's gonna be the bane of our existence for I don't know how long.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be.
Yeah, stop adding fucking Netflix Christmas games. Y'all had to Netflix did good with the broadcast, and there's no technical difficulties, but the games were utter shit.
Oh, by the way, it's NBA's holiday.
Yeah, even though the NBA ratings have gone significantly down.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know how the NHL is even doing.
Aren't they on TNT?
Yeah, once a week though.
Oh.
But unfortunately for NHL, they don't really have a lot of national televised games like the NBA. So
hockey's become more of obscure here. Remember, hockey is as much of a Canadian thing. I don't think it's really that much of an American thing anymore.
Yeah. Well, at least the baseball, at least they have a lot of national televised games. So
yeah, and plus with NBC getting the rights that TNT had, trust me, that's good. They're gonna get a lot of nationwide games now
for NBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're getting basically the same package that TNT got before they lost the rights.
Yeah.
Hey, David Zaslav, you're fucking doing your job wrong.
Yep. Let's take a look at the NBA. We are in the second place, the Celtics in the Eastern Conference.
The Knicks look pretty good.
Yeah, 27-16. Let's see who's in last place. The Wizards. They have only won 6 games. 6 games. Oh, by the way, picked are the Brooklyn Nets. 12, 14, 29.
Oh, jeez.
That's for the Eastern Conference. The Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder is the first place of the Western Conference. The Warriors are at 10, which was strange. Charlie Spurs is in 12th, 1922. The Grizzlies in 3rd, Nuggets in 4th. I hate the Lakers.
Well, fuck the Lakers.
Yes.
Especially after LeBron put his kid inside the team. Forget about it. They suck.
Oh, and by the
Nepo crack.
By the way, they even, when they first won the NBA Cup, they had to put a banner on the roof for it.
The NBA Cup is fucking pointless. The play-in tournament, it's all pointless.
Yes.
What? Other than a championship, you get fucking salary raises. That's it. Who cares?
There's no parade for it.
Who cares?
Let's take a look at NHL. The Maple Leafs are in 1st, 29-16, and 2. The Panthers are in 2nd place. They got a lot of good players in the offseason. The Bruins are 3rd to last, 22-19-6. At least we have a winning record, but still. Metro Capitals are in 1st. Victor,
God, why does the Rangers look that bad?
22-24. At least you have a winning record somewhat, but well, I don't know. Who knows?
At least we're not as bad as the Islanders. Jesus.
Last place, 18-27. Good God. For the Western, Yes, Victor. There's a team called the Jets in hockey.
Well, they're probably better than the New York Jets.
Yeah, first place, 31, 13, and 3. The Dallas Stars are in second place. The St. Louis Blues, fifth, and last place.
It's pretty bad when I don't know half these damn teams.
Blackhawks, 15, 28, and 3. Well, this is practice week, Victor. Yeah, the Golden Knights in first place, 29, 14, 3. The Kraken, third to sixth, last place. So where's the Las Vegas team? Where's the
Isn't that Golden Knights?
Aren't
they the Vegas team?
Oh yeah, they're. I got confused with the NBA.
Because that's one of the rare ones I actually heard of.
Yeah, they're in first place. And speaking of Las Vegas, who knows if they're going to get the Oakland A's team franchise?
Oh, Jesus.
They're moving to Sacramento for at least for a few years. Which, by the way, I'm gonna give this baseball rant here before we end off.
Oh, geez, who offended you now?
People who are complaining about the Dodgers spending a whole bunch of money. I mean, I like the Dodgers because of the history of.
No, you like the Dodgers because they beat the Yankees last year. Admit it. Admit it right now.
Another reason, yes. But,
fuck you.
Is this? Oh, you still there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's just that I don't know why people are complaining about the Dodgers deferring money strategy, where many other 29 teams out there could have done the exact same thing. I mean, if you're complaining about the Dodgers deferring money, strategy since the back up of Shohei Ohtani contract, then how about if you learn from that and actually get a bunch of stars yourselves? Isn't that isn't that how you buy championships? It's actually being a team that cares so much about making an all-star team. If that's one way to make an all-star team, like the Dodgers are doing, who is a historic franchise that has players in the past like Jackie Robinson, and now Ohtani, and many others. Like, at least respect them for that instead of renting about, because your team could have been doing the same thing. If it's allowed for the Dodgers, and it's allowed for your team too. It's just that your owners don't want to do that same thing because of being nervous about doing certain moves. Heck, even the Red Sox, I believe, did the very money back in the old days with the Manny Ramirez and I don't know who else. That's the only one I can think of. And also the Yankees back in the 90s, like the 70s, 80s, and all that, and also the 90s too, I guess. You know this, Victor. The Yankees were like what the Dodgers are doing now, and that is buying championships, of getting so many star player free agents, and that's how they won more series many times in the 1990s. So if it worked for the Yankees, if it worked for the Red Sox for a little bit, now working for the Dodgers, who are becoming the Yankees of the old days, the modern Yankees, I guess you could say, but I'm not even going to compare them to that, then you should be mad at your owners for not doing that strategy, and instead of complaining to Rob Manfred about it, because the only thing he's going to fix is make sure there's not an MLB lockout in 2027 because of this situation. So I just want to point that out there, because people are saying the MLB lockout in 2027 is going to be legendary because of what the Dodgers are doing right now. So I just want to get that off my chest. That's going to be it for this episode. Nothing really big tonight.
Well, what do you mean? The Bills won. That's big. You're undermining my Bills, huh?
I meant for the crowd tonight. That's what I meant. And also didn't have other segments planned out for this, but that's fine. So next week for the NFL, we have two big games, a doubleheader, and that is going to be the Eagles and the Commanders and the Bills and the Chiefs.
Trust me, that Bills and Chiefs game is gonna fucking, in the terms of viewership, it's gonna fucking knock out whatever FOX is doing.
I don't know what that is.
Fox, FOX.
Oh, okay. They're done with the National Eagles Commanders because they were doing the Lions game, and that was in the National, so that's how I know. The schedule for the rest of this month, episode 149 will be this Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern for another Talk Show theme episode. I don't know what that's going to be like yet, but we'll see. Episode 150 is going to change from this Sunday night to the following Monday night because it's episode 150. I don't want to have people being busy watching the Chiefs Bills game and also the Eagles Washington game the night before. And also I'm gonna be in the same location that night, so that is Sunday, so I'd rather wait until the night before where I have my PlayStation ready to go because me and Charlie are gonna play MLB The Show for episode 150. So
he's gonna kick your ass.
You gotta be there, Victor. You gotta be there for episode 150 because that's gonna be a big episode. So I hope you're there. And that's gonna be that Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. So please, folks, stay tuned for more information down the road. I do hope that tomorrow I'll book some special interviews for episode 150.
Anything's better than an inauguration.
Yes. Tomorrow is going to be a crazy day, so please stay safe. And if you want to get
stay safe and get the fuck off social media if you have to.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's gonna fucking mess with your brain. That's why I would watch it all fucking. First of all, I have to get a Hollow Man out of the way because that's the next show for Popcorn Panel. But like, I'm gonna watch all fucking movies all day, get my mind off it. It'll be fucking cold, but I have the damn heater. It's freaking freezing out here. It's freezing. It's awful.
You can also do Victor's game room tapings.
Yeah, I have been recording more. I just have to send you the files. I have to edit. I haven't gotten a chance to edit one of them because I got interrupted, so I have to edit that one. For the rest, I don't have to edit, but I have to edit that one before I can send you anything.
Yeah.
Other than that, 3 episodes have pretty much been completed, or 4. Can't quite remember. 3 or 4.
Yeah. Which speaking of which, check out Victor's Game Room here on the network whenever you see it on the random times. Check out Chilling3000 Hangouts Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern and Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern if there's no interfere with the NFL games, but that'll be fixed after the Super Bowl, which I think I might just schedule, whatever. I think the Super Bowl game will be at 6:30.
It's always that starts around 6:30.
Okay, so I'll have enough time to do an episode right after that. And then the pop-up panel. What movie are you going to be doing this week?
Hollow Man.
Okay. And then making the change Thursdays when he has the chance. The open house, same thing on Thursdays. Midnight and Gaming It with the Devil, hosted by Charlie on days, nights here on the network. Go check out the Dorks podcast and the Mars podcast on the House of Rebellion. Check out both of us on Gary's channel Monday afternoons at 5. Check out the Rant Room podcast Thursdays at I still have that scope, Brandon. Brandon Martin's channel. That's on the sponsors there. So please check out those shows in our community. And like I said, episode 149 this Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. And then also don't forget to mark your calendars down for January 27th for episode 150 of 2+more Hangouts, which I do hope to make it a 3-hour special, but we'll see how that goes, depending on how many people are available. Also, there's another thing going on tomorrow. The college football championship game.
Oh, that's right.
That's going to be on ESPN. It's going to be Ohio State Buckeyes at the Notre Dame Fighting
Irish.
Yep.
I don't even know much about college football, but I know about the Fighting Irish.
Are you going to be watching that game, Victor?
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about college football. It's too complex.
Well, maybe this will be a good starting point to learn it for next season.
Plus, I think it's too much for like hardcore. I don't know. Major sports need major names. That's pretty much that's what I'm gonna say.
I actually don't know what the location is gonna be yet. I'll have to.
Anything's better than the UFL. Who cares about the UFL?
Yeah, nobody does. Only for people that just want to watch nothing but football and just be unhealthy doing that.
Take a fucking break. Super Bowl, take a fucking break.
Yeah, watch baseball. Watch the NBA, NHL playoffs.
Or watch my show.
Watch this show. I mean, there's more better things for you to do. Or you can also watch game shows. You can do that too.
Game show. What do? You probably have Hollywood Squares on the background. I swear to God, if you don't have that.
No, I don't. Because I was watching the Bills game. That's why. I'm just trying to figure out where's the college football championship game is going to be. Game. Where is the stadium? Oh, it's in Atlanta.
Your favorite team?
No, I don't want them to win anything. This is the stadium I'm talking about. So that is going to be. This game will end the longest season in college football history. 150 days.
Great, they're extending it just like fucking Goodell has this. He wants to add an 18th game to the regular season.
Yeah.
Give me a break, Goodell. It's too much even for me.
Yeah, and also don't have the Super Bowl 2 weeks after the championship A and NFC games.
I don't know what's up with Goodell. All these stupid decisions about, we're going to go to Brazil, and we're going to go here, and then we're going to do Netflix Christmas games, and we're going to do that shit stain Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football is a fucking shit stain. There's a reason why I feel like Amazon NBA is going to be about as bad as Thursday Night Football, because remember, Amazon got the rights to stream NBA games as well, too. So,
yeah, if you want to watch NBA, just watch on ESPN, which also the TNT show is going to be on ESPN. Excuse me.
Also, inside the NBA's ESPN too.
Yeah, basically, ESPN is becoming the National Basketball Association channel.
Yeah, it's becoming more popular than NBA TV.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I wish they should have moved the inside the NBA to NBA TV. Seriously.
Cable, I think it wouldn't give them much ratings. I think it might have been better they put on ESPN. I don't know why it didn't stay on TNT, but you know, because TNT technically still is going to produce it, so I don't understand that logic.
Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen to NBA Countdown, too.
That's right.
But anyway, I'll see you all this Friday for another Talk Show themed episode of Chilling3000 Hangouts. And I'll see you all later.